Recruiting 101, man. A whole lot to go over, whole lot to talk about. I'm going to be sharing my screen, my video, my screen with a number of you guys today. So I want to make sure, I get to see who's in, who's watching, who's
Today we about to
got
get in,
comments,
man. I'm your boy, the Deacon,
so let me cut that down.
John.
Man, there it is. All right, cut it down. So for a lot of parents, I'm going to kind of wait a little bit. I want to make sure you guys that are on Twitter, you guys on YouTube Live, hello, how you guys doing? Those that are on Facebook, put your comments in down there. We're going to talk a little bit about the camps, clinics, all the different things that are coming up in the next couple of months. And I want to talk to you guys a little bit today about, as I fix my other screen, definitely about, and I'm going to stay on track just like that. That's great. About all the different things that are going on. What's up, Brother Rick? My brother-in-law, I didn't call you back. Don't get on my live and show me you there. That just says you didn't call me. I see that. Look at me, convicted. I will call you as I get off. But I want to talk to you guys about recruiting and what's going on. We got some great things that are coming up in the next couple of weeks. Definitely in the next couple of weeks that we want to make sure that we're going to put out and make sure that all the parents know what's going on. You 7th grade, 8th graders that are going to be 9th graders that just got into high school. We want to make sure that you guys know what you should be doing. But definitely for my high school group, Anthony Brown, that's why I tagged you, because I knew you were going to put the Square Technique system. Call Anthony Brown. Trainers, I'm going to talk about trainers. Les Johnson, if you are in the state of Arizona and the city of Phoenix, Mesa, and surrounding cities, Les Johnson is somebody that you should be talking to in Arizona, training. I know they're playing high school football in some of these other places, but I want to keep you guys abreast of what's going on and what you should be doing, along with promoting California Recruits, the #1 recruiting service for you and your student athlete. So as people are getting in, Ty, I sent you guys information on tonight. We have a all clients meeting at 6 o'clock. Going to be talking to the young men about social media. I'm also going to be talking to young men about, again, what I'm talking to you guys about now, because most of them are in school and they don't. Matt Reardon, what's going on, my buddy? So I want to make sure that you guys know kind of what's going on and what we need to do. Again, I will leave this broadcast up in the event that people need to go back and look at it. It is also being recorded live right now on YouTube and on Twitter or Periscope for Twitter. Les Johnson, his number is there, Arizona 480-886-477. 4777. All right. Make sure that if you're in that area, you want to be trained, you want to get your nutrition right. It's my buddy. I've had him on the show a number of times. Haven't had him in a while this year. I got to get you back on the show, Les, so we can start talking about that. There's a lot of people looking to gain weight and gain it the right way, or cut weight, or do some things. So let's get you on this week. So you hear me, put something in there that we can get you in on this week. So I definitely want to make sure as we get going, I'm just letting some people get in here. A lot of different things are happening in my area, school districts I'm hearing about down south. Talked to my partner today. His son goes to Newberry Park, and they're saying, again, if they're not in school in the next 2 weeks, a lot of these guys will not be playing. So I'm going to give you a plan and what you should be doing. Some of you guys have probably heard and said over the years, I'm not going to use a recruiting service. I don't need to do that. I'm not going to all these camps and all that stuff. I put up a post that was really interesting to me today by Coach J.R. Sumlin. He's at Jackson State University. And he said, recruits, the old attitude of, if you're good, they will find you, is out. He said, I will, Marcus. He said, is out. With all the tools of social media and electronic mail, you are responsible for promoting pinning, pressing, and posting about you. Who will if you won't? Well, we will, but at the end of the day, that's what I'm going to be going over with my guys today. I'm not seeing Twitter activity from a lot of players. Twitter activity is very important. Coaches, now that you have so I want to really talk to 21s real quick, and I'm going to talk to 22s because it has gotten very, very serious with the 21s and 21s and 22s as well. But if you are a 21 and you are not posting 2 videos a week, you are doing yourself a disservice, as well as if you haven't changed your recruiting perspective of where you are as a recruit. The biggest thing for this class right now, and this class and any other class, is the sooner you find out where you are. I was talking to someone last week that sent me a message. He's on here and said, hey, we don't have a problem with D2. We don't have a problem with NAIA. We don't have we want to play at the next level. And that's the big part about this whole thing, is that a lot of kids are still, you guys hear me talk about the 98% and the 2%. The 2% don't need you. The 2% doesn't need help. They're getting recruited. The 98% of the student athletes are the ones that actually need help. And the problem is that we wait until we are at the end of our junior year or our senior year, and in a COVID year, we're still waiting on USC, and we're still waiting on, well, USC is waiting on Sierra Wright. They're waiting on some of the top 100 guys that have not made commitments yet. And so while you're waiting on them, they're waiting on someone else already. So reevaluating your recruiting and where you are is very, very important to the process of your recruiting, reevaluating it. You're going to have to reevaluate it after a certain date here, maybe in the next couple of weeks, that in my area, they have only given you conditioning. I will tell you guys, I'm not telling on my school. I'm not telling on the school that my son goes to. I'll say not my school. We played with the ball this morning. We threw the ball. We had 7-on-7. So whatever lie that went out, that, or story that went out that says you can't touch a ball, is not what CIF has said. Okay. And nobody's doing anything illegal. Go check the rules per se, and really check the rules, because throwing a ball or playing with a ball is not a part of the COVID rule that you can't do it. Secondly, as far as the recruiting goes and changing your, redirecting or reevaluating your recruiting, if you're 21 and you didn't get evaluated in March because there was no evaluation period, April, May, June, there was no camp season, you need to realize where you are in this process. You're probably an NAIA Division III student athlete that needs to take those schools that are contacting you very, very serious. I will talk to you about both. When you talk about NAIA and you talk about Division III, you need to understand one gives money and the other doesn't, okay? If you're looking for scholarship money academically and athletically, you're going to probably look better at an NAIA school. On the West Coast, we only have NAIA schools in the Pacific Northwest, Oregon, Portland, Washington, all the way down, Idaho, Arizona, New Mexico. Those are where those schools are. There's none in California. Division III, ton of schools in California, but you have to be high academic and borderline rich. At the end of the day, those schools are only going to give you academic money, and you're only going to get somewhere between, at max, 50% of 50% of what the cost of school. So if you're talking Cal Lu, 68,000, 70,000, you're going to get 35. If you don't qualify for financial aid, you're going to have to take out loans and that. So you have to really understand what this whole thing is about from that perspective. So that Division III school, let's look at it, that's $68,000, $70,000 that you would take. If you took a NAIA school at 40, you're going to get both academic and athletic money. So, Mark, Georgia Tech needs you very, very much so. I saw it this weekend. They need you back. So at the end of the day, those are things that you have, that's how you have to look at it. and reevaluate and look at it. A lot of you parents, I'm going to also, I said today, bring up and talk a little bit about the new rule that in January, that's going to actually hurt high school and junior college football. So some of you guys are saying, well, maybe he'll just go to JC and in 2 years he'll transfer. If you go and you look, and maybe I'll do it next time because I have some other stuff that I wanted to do today. If you go and you look at the junior college form in California, your top 50, 100 players are going somewhere, some of them are going Division One, big time Division One, Power Five, Division One, I'll say. But for the most part, they're not. That next tier division junior college guy is still going NAIA, 1AA maybe, but NAIA or Division Two. And in your Division Two programs, it's okay if that kid really is looking to leave. They're going into places like Kansas and Erie, Pennsylvania, and I think Lake Erie is one of the schools that's recruiting real heavy on the West Coast. Southwest Minnesota, guys are going into the Midwest. They're going further away in 2 years. And as a parent, you might say, well, I'm good with that because now he's 20, turning 21, time for him to go, get off my couch, get out my house, go. He's older now. I think he's ready. But for the most part, they're still the same schools that they're getting recruited for right now, or they could have went to out of high school. And maybe they weren't mentally ready to leave the state at that particular time. But for the most part, you have to understand the way recruiting is going right now and where college coaches are pulling from the JC ranks right now. They're not pulling anybody one. Measurable size is going to be number one. Your linemen that are 6'5" or better, 6'4" or better. Your running back 6 feet, wide receiver 6 feet, DB 6 feet or better. So if your kid's 5'7", 5'8", coming out of high school, gets to 5'10", still going to deal with the measurable, as far as recruiting, still going to deal with that whole measurable thing of getting recruited in the next 2 years. So I always say, well, I'm not going to wait 2 years to go to the same college I would have went to out of high school. I'd be 2 years into my degree and playing, and I'm acclimated to the city. So unless that kid is not ready to go to the next level or go out of state, junior college is rough. And junior college is rough now when we talk about the one sit, the no sit, 1 year, one transfer, no sit rule. This rule is look like it's going to pass in January by the NCAA, which means if I go to USC and I don't like it, I can then transfer and go to Oklahoma if they will take me and have a scholarship. Now, it's my one time to transfer and I don't have to sit. That rule is going to pass. What does that do for junior college and high school football? What that does is that says that 25 scholarships that are given every year to these colleges, if they don't go over, into their scholarships for the next season, they have 25. They usually go get, your Power 5 schools are going to get 25 high school guys. They may get 23 and 2 JC guys if they're top guys in the country, something like that. But for the most part, the JC guy is completely almost removed from the picture, because if I can get 18 high school student athletes from around the country that are good, that I want to recruit, that other 7 guys may come from out the portal of guys who have gone to other schools. They don't have to sit and wait a year. We don't get those scholarships to those guys. They come in being in a weight program. They had 4 stars coming out of high school. They just chose the wrong school. Coach got fired, whatever reason it is, he falls into my lap. That starts hurting high school recruiting, and it really kills the JC market as well. So it would behoove student athletes to become just that out of high school, student athletes. Make sure your grades are where they are, and then make sure that you and it's going to help in another area. It's going to help Division I AA. Well, it's going to be tough for them. It's going to help them as well, because they'll go get a guy who probably slipped through the cracks, that got into a Division I Power 5 school that probably should have went 1 AA and then bounce back to them. But there goes that high school scholarship they could have used. There's that junior college scholarship they could have used. So all those things are part of the trickle down effect of the one transfer, one sit rule that'll affect junior college football and high school football as well as. So I would tell you right now, if you're 21, I'm sorry, I'm back on later on tonight. And so if you're going to use, and thank you, Maddie, I might have to do this at 4 or 5 o'clock later from now on. But if you're going to use walk-ons, preferred walk-ons, parents, that means money. I truly have to explain this to you, because a lot of times parents think, okay, if I'm doing preferred walk-on, I'm gonna go. Preferred walk-on means you're gonna pay for school. Okay, you may get some academic money, which is great. You may get financial aid, which is great, but you're gonna pay for school until that program says your student athletes earned a scholarship. Doesn't mean they're gonna earn it in the first year. Maybe the second year, third year. Hey, mom, you don't got to pay anymore. That's 3 years of school you've paid for. If you're a preferred walk-on doesn't mean you automatically get it after 1 year. It just means that they gave you a preferred walk-on. You're on the team. You have the opportunity to earn that, and hopefully it's earned it in practice, because it's hard to become a preferred walk-on and earn it, and you're not getting on the field to do something in a game that says this person is valuable to us. Prior to that, you're a practice player for the next year to 2 years until you say, hey, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going to go and play. So those become those options as well. But reevaluating your recruiting is something that we gotta start thinking about if we're 21s. Here, date-wise. So talking to a lot of clients, December, early signing day in December. I'm going to tell you guys that are 21s right now, a lot of schools are going to try to be done. They try to be done already. They're going to really try to be done in December this year, because they didn't have an evaluation period to evaluate guys during this year. So this year, during the spring. So this year, if you can sign, if all these guys I see, oh, I'm going to wait, you may not have a season. You can't wait. There's no waiting. There's no more waiting. I think after Thanksgiving or right before, I would say November 15th, line up your top 5, top 3, top 1, whatever it is, and get it done. Because I have a school, even an NAIA school, that's saying it right then. They said, hey, when I come to town, and I think it's LZ on here, coach called me yesterday and said, hey, he's one of our top guys. We're trying to get it done when we get there. When we get in December, we are trying to be done. We are signing 30 guys this year. We are trying to be done on December 16th. We don't want to go into January, February. We want to jump right to our 22s, because we did not have time to evaluate 21s. So if you are 21 with offers, you need to put a target date at November 15th as your date to say, I got this done, which means from now to then, you need to be doing research on your school, okay? You need to break down and have the research being done on your school or the schools that you are interested in. And you need to be having conversations weekly with those coaches so you can get a feel. You also need to be watching if those schools are playing right now. You need to be understanding, watching the coaches watching the coaches hot seat. Some of those coaches may not be there. One of the things about working with the service, I follow coaches hot seat. It's about 88% of coaches hot seat is correct. Every year, there's going to be some coaching changes. Tony Beeves on here. I'm going to speak it. I'm going to talk about it now. If UCLA comes out and loses 3 in a row, 2 in a row, 4, Chip won't be there. UCLA is going to open up. It's going to be a new coach. Some say Coach Sarkisian from Alabama may be coming to town. That's going to move UCLA into a whole nother situation. As far as recruiting, as far as guys that have already committed or guys that they're talking to, guys that they're going to go after. But if you're one of those guys, you need to be watching what's going on there. If you're not one of those guys, you need to be watching your schools, period, because you want to understand better what's going to happen as far as recruiting goes, because the coach that's recruiting you may not be there. So watch those things. Those are things that I watch for in the service. I was talking to a parent yesterday, just earlier today, and it was, hey, if you look at that staff, if they just got there, they got a 4-year contract. Your kid gets there, at least you're gonna have that staff for at least the next 4 years, potentially. Maybe that position coach doesn't leave. Those are things that you want. A lot of things that happen with your student athlete when they get into a program, the coach that recruited them, he's gone. Now, kid, look, it happened to me. My son decided to go to Cal Poly. Coach that recruited him went back to his alma mater and crushed my son. He said, man, I wouldn't. And the school he went back to was his alma mater. They were recruiting my son. And, it was the second school on his list, Eastern Washington. He said, man, well, he left. And so, man, I said, you're going to be all right. Well, another coach that recruited him ended up taking a job. It went well. Well, they got fired, that whole staff. So now he has a new coach. So a lot of different things go. But the new coach, thanks be to God, knew who he was from recruiting him as well. Now is his coach, and he's got 4 years, hopefully, with this guy, because he's already had a coaching staff. So yeah, Clay ain't going nowhere, I don't think. So I want you to understand those things as far as reevaluating your recruiting if you are a 21. If you are a 22, you need to understand, and you're not working with a service, or 23, which means you're a sophomore and you're out. You did not get camp. You did not get anything this year for anyone to know you. So when you're going into the 22 class, 21 class in January, if we play is going to be, is really, that if is a big word, for a lot of people. If we play, great for you, because coaches are going to come out and be out. Their season will be over. We think. They have not been given the okay. Talking to Fresno State yesterday, he said, man, I just don't think they're going to let us go anywhere. They don't want us to be on campuses around the kids. So it is very, very important that you guys are putting together more and more videos to be able to for these coaches to be able to see you. Okay. Now, weightlifting videos. Let me share this with you. I'm gonna share this with my guys tonight. I'm gonna share it with you guys now. Every college has a strength and conditioning coach. Great to see your transformation of your body. Paste those weightlifting videos out, please. Stop putting weightlifting. People want to see you move. Coaches want to see hip movement, quick feet, ladders, running, change of direction. They don't want to see you lifting weights. I can tell you that right now. It's what I'm getting. Yeah, the weightlifting, cool. If you squatting 500, cool. You did it. Now take it. All right, cool. Don't want to see you squatting every week. It's not a good video. Not telling me what I want to know as a coach. Not telling me what I want. Okay. So I'm just going to say to you guys again, you have to manage this stuff. And when you're not working with a service, it's not something that somebody is looking at so they can talk to you about it. I'm watching my student athletes' videos. I'm telling them, I'm retweeting. This is what we need to be doing. This is why we need to be doing it. If you don't have that, and mom is saying, oh, that's good, you ought to put that up. It may not be. Mom loves you. You can put up whatever you want. Don't mean that it's going to attract a coach. What's going to attract is change of direction. 4-cone drill, 3-cone drill, square technique, DB drills, wide receiver drills, you running routes and catching the football, whatever it is, linebacker drills, you fighting through bags, doing whatever it is that you need to do to put up on your Twitter 2 videos per week and tagging the right coaches. You cannot tag Florida State and Notre Dame and Colorado when you're not that they're not following you. The envelope is not there. You're following coach. You're just flooding that coach. And if he hasn't gotten back in the last year and a half, right now, and you're about to be a senior, you're tagging the wrong schools and you're not getting what you think you need to get. And so that becomes the issue. And that's where you probably need to be working with a service. You probably need to be told right now, you're probably a Division II or III or NAIA guy. You're not going to be in that other, you're just not a top 100 player that they're looking at right now. Will there be some late recruits that get recruited? Yes. April, it always happens. Teams say, hey, man, is there anybody left over you want me to look at? Maybe a 6'1.5" undersized guy that, we kind of missed or that kind of slipped through the cracks. Yeah, it happens. But for the most part, you tagging Florida State and Clemson and USC, it's tough. And I want to have those hard conversations with your student athletes. I have them with parents, and sometimes they don't get it. They don't want to get it because they want it to be something else, and it's not. And it's not going to be because, again, if that one sit transfer rule comes in, you're going to see some stuff happen in February where, hey, I thought we were good with him. Well, you know what? So-and-so decided to leave Georgia, and he likes our school, and we like him, and he's coming in here. So we bypassed on that high school guy. Didn't you have like a couple of D2s or NAIAs? Yeah, but he wanted to go here. Well, people in hell want ice water. It just don't happen, right? So at the end of the day, we got to deal with the reality of where your student athlete is, and that's what we're gonna always preach and teach with California recruits. So at the end of the day, hey guys, so there's a lot of different things coming up. I want to make sure that we are definitely we're definitely involved in that. So I want to make sure that I go over that. I know there's some couple things coming up. That Stack Sports is Nike. Stack Sports is the Nike Combine. It's coming on November 15th to El Camino College. It's invite only. If you did not get an invite, you definitely need to. You didn't get an invite. You with California recruits. A couple of you guys I need to talk to, and I'm going to be doing some pushing to try to get a few of our guys in that particular event. Okay, I'm going to be trying to get our guys in that particular event, and so we want to make sure if you did get in, fill it out right away, quick. It is really for 22s. I will tell you that. There was I don't know if there was a lot of 21s invited because I think they're just kind of going all the way around. And I saw that, and I'm glad he just jumped on. Keithan, did Larry get invited to that Nike thing? I want to make sure. I know he did, but I want to make sure because I really believe it's a 21, 22, a 22, 23 invite because they're already like, hey, the bulk of the other guys have already for this class. They're going on already, so they're not looking at bringing in a lot of 21s. And if you are a 21, you have a 21 that was invited, please let me know. But I have not. I've asked that question and have not gotten anyone that in the 21 class to tell me if they got in or not, or they got invited, so to speak. If not, the day before that, National Preps is putting on their official invitation for National Preps Santa Clarita Combine, which I am a part of. I am over that particular event. I will tell you, National Preps is a reputable company, been around for a very long time. I would tell you to put your kid in the National Preps Combine at LA. It's another opportunity for them to be seen at that particular event. So I would tell you, definitely do that. Put your kid in that. Put your kid in that National Preps. Put your kid in that National Preps camp on the 15th, in which you will hear or see on my page here shortly after we go. And they need to be invited. You need to invite. Definitely let me know. Don't let, hey, I didn't get invited to Nike, I want to go to that, I'm not going. You right now, because we don't know where high school football is going to be, you need to be a part of every camp, every event that you can be a part of. If you're getting invited to, you need to be there. It is more film for you. I will tell you that. If you went to one already, maybe in Vegas, you might want to go to the one in LA, because now you're amongst your peers. I didn't know if you was here, brother. I'm sorry. I just want to make sure I got something for you tonight. When we get off, I'll give you a call. So I want to make, we want to make sure that you are part of these combines, these invitations that are coming. I want to make sure all my clients are going to either one. If you're going to Nike, great. If you're not going to Nike, you need to be going to National Preps. If you're not going to National Preps, you need to be going somewhere. These are opportunities that have film. It is another marketing opportunity to get your name out there and put your stuff there. Trammell, Utah is starting the playoffs, and I'm glad Trammell is doing this, and we laugh about it. But guys, what is happening is those kids are able to put in current film, game film to college coaches. So parents that are waiting around for these other schools, you haven't even played a high school football game this year. Your kid, your son may be 20 pounds heavier. He may be 3 inches taller than he was. He looks different on film. So again, that's why going to these camps, going to this stuff is very, 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 very important. Okay. Very important. Who's that, Kev? Very important that you're going to these camps, that you're going to this stuff, because if you don't go to it, again, when we get this together, like I told someone earlier in the year, I said, hey, go ahead and let your son, and I don't know if he got in or not, but hey, one of the things that I know Nike does is in their invite, they invite kids that have offers. If you got a Power 5 offer or you have a mid-major offer, they invite kids that have those offers. Now, I've been able to work and push the right people and ask and get kids that don't have an offer, because I go, hey, they don't play the offer game. They're going to play. They need to go. You need this is a kid that's going to be top kid, and I've been able to get them in the past. I would tell you that with that, the kid that doesn't have that offer to be able to get in, there's a couple of kids I've said, hey, you should let your kid, really take this offer. Say, no, I don't want my kid to get into that right now. Well, this came out, and there's only 4 Nike camps this year. I think they got a Bay, LA, and 2 other spots, and that's it. That information, I was on the phone with Fresno State again, and I asked the Fresno State coach, I said, hey, how much do you guys consider Nike camp and all these? He said, oh, we look at it. We get all the data. We get all the information from there. 2 things it shows us. It shows us a kid that's competing at a high level with all those other kids, if they froze or not, how they looked on film. So all these things are going to look for the next class, for the 22 class. So National Preps, I would tell you, National Preps, Stack Sports, Nike, definitely get that. Anybody that's doing a camp right now that's filming, you definitely want to be there. But you still, I thank God for my clients that call me and say, hey, is this something I should go to? I think Keith Miller is doing a camp right around the same day as a number of people that are doing. Hey, it's a junior high camp. Some of you 8th graders that are not playing youth football, traveling around, Keith Miller is another great source that you should be reaching out to. Anything that's going to help market your kid's name and put it out there, you need to make sure that you're a part of it. Okay. So after that, what date is it? Lord help me. November 7th, the weekend before, we have our linemen big man battle in Santa Clarita Central Park, $40 a player. Trophies being given out. Guys need to check that out. And I'll put these flyers up. I'll segue to the Shook tournaments in Vegas. Grand opening Shook tournament same day, November 7th and November 8th, Saturday and Sunday in Henderson, Nevada, and then Shook Turkey Bowl in Nevada, 11-27 and 11-28, which are 7-on-7 tournaments. I will tell you guys this: the minute that they start really putting out the information that guys are not going to be playing tackle football, I think, weather permitting, 7-on-7 is going to blow up through the roof in November, December, and then back around to January. If we don't play in January, 7-on-7 is going to be huge, okay, if you don't play in January. So I will tell you, our organization is going to be doing some things. 7-on-7 may be for the first time when people say, oh, you really don't need to do that. You really don't have to play that. It's going to be the thing that people are going to be playing for DBs, wide receivers, quarterbacks. People are going to be definitely using whatever film they can from those particular avenues to be able to help student athletes as well. So I would tell you, do not just shun 7-on-7 just yet. I know there's some school districts that are going to play, but there's some school districts that may not. Like I said, I just heard from an LA parent this day that they're pushing in their area in the Valley, and they don't have as many schools as LA Unified. So I'm trying to give you guys an alternative of things that you need to be doing. Those that are my clients, I got you. We're gonna have a whole plan set out for you to do and make sure that we're getting information in front of college coaches and film, so coaches can see who you are and see what's going on. But in the event that in my area that you don't play, because as of right now, until they come up with an actual date of kids going back to school, they made it very clear. They showed the video all weekend. If kids are not back at school, they're not going to play. Well, today is the 19th, 20th. They're going to have practice on next Monday, conditioning, with that thought in mind that if kids aren't back in school, they're not going to play. Why am I conditioning? I've been conditioning since March. I've been running around since March. You want me to run around with my team and then wait till after Thanksgiving to say, well, we're not going back to school, which means in January we were going to play. We're not going to play. I would not be going to practice until you tell me we're going to school, because ain't nothing to practice for. So that's just, what it is. So reevaluating recruiting. Want to show you guys, talk to you guys a little bit again about NAIA football. There's a couple websites that I want parents to go to and start looking at. With the one transfer, no sit rule, football will get better on other levels because it's gonna give less scholarships in certain areas, and so certain kids are gonna probably just, I think people will get smart and say, you know what, school's 40 and they just gave me $32,000 as a scholarship to go, and that other $8,000 we get in financial aid, or I'll do whatever I got to do, but I'm not going to go 2 years of junior college to go to the same school I would have went to out of high school. 2 years ago. So just want you to look at some of the other alternatives and understand NAIA.org. You definitely want to do that. We also have a showcase with NAIA schools coming in the month of December. So you want to definitely look at that, as well as Division III, as well as Division II. So a couple sites I want to share with you. Let me share my screen with you guys, and that way everybody will know, kind of get a feel for, sites that we're talking about. So NAIA, because I was talking about this, and I want people to kind of understand this is kind of where we share and we work together with this at. So when you understand about NAIA schools, 250 schools, $800 million in scholarships given, 21 conferences, 27 championships. I just want you to understand this website is definitely open for anyone to go look at. I can explain and go over that, as far as NAIA schools. But I want to show you. I want to hover over this for football, and really show you when you look at football and how kind of not a secret, just kind of what I do, and want to make sure that we get an idea, right? So here's football. Matter of fact, let me go this way. Let me go to schools. And you look at member institutions, that have football, or should I just look at sports? I do this every time. I don't know why I do this every time. Football. There it is. So when we look at this and we look at all the schools that they actually, they actually have, as far as football schools, there are a ton of football schools in the NAIA, in their conference, in their conferences, in these conferences that they have. It is crazy. I do not. This is whoa, 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 whoa. So let me make that smaller. Let me make that smaller. So we look at all these football schools, NAIA.org. There you go. Pop them back up. Here it is. Wow, I was there. So when you look at here, you look state by state, but if you just pick football and you look at all the sports, so at California Recruits, we do every sport. Okay, so basketball, baseball, they got scholarships for bowling, cheerleading, wrestling, competitive dance, competitive cheer, women's sports, all these different sports. But we just took football, and we don't. When you look at that, that's 96 other programs. And we just put 100 and we put them all down there. This is a lot of schools to choose from that give money. Okay. If I did this this way, and I put in Division III, I want you guys to understand the difference. There's 246 teams in Division III that don't give money. Only academic, which means if that's your boat, we definitely have a lot of opportunities to help you all over the country. Okay, so a lot of opportunities out there that people turn away and say, "Oh no, we're trying to be part of the 2%," and it's late. Okay, but just wanted to give you an idea. Public information that you can go look at. Any of these NAIA schools you want to look at. So, and you can go in there, we do a lot of, I ain't seen a kicker that big in my life. Lord, look at this. But at the end of the day, I want you guys to look at rosters and guys that, this is an NAIA roster, about 106 guys on that team. A lot of you guys will know this guy right here named Willie Cleveland, Lil Herm. Lil Herm was with our service, and Lil Herm is with, this is Arizona Christian, one of the West Coast schools on the NAIA, and he's doing very well there. He's going to do very well there this year. So, but from size to everything, 5'6" guy, 168 pounds. I know Herm to be, I think, a D1 guy, but he got caught in measurables and size or whatever it may be. And so you have to understand that you know, that's just how it worked. You know what I mean? That's just how it worked for Lil Herm. And so we just want to make sure that, you know, that people get a better understanding of who and what
and size or whatever it may be.
What these wow, went out. All right. So just know what these you know, what these things are, what these schools have to offer and where they are, you know, in the sense of these oh man, let me get this together. Yeah, so you guys can have an understanding of that. And this is all the things that we do with our service. And so I want to make sure that you know, all you guys know, if there's parents out there that are seeking help, that are going to need, there's going to be a lot of people that need help, but if you need help in the process of recruiting and what, you know, with the process of your kid getting recruited by these different colleges, and you want to open up your recruiting and understand better about your recruiting, definitely can probably can go right here. I can let you guys know some of the things that we have coming up. You know, we have coming up, which is going to be very, very informative to everyone. Okay, we got something coming up, and I want you guys to be able to be a part of it. So this is what we have coming up every Tuesday and Thursday. There's 2 times, 10 and 2 o'clock. And it is how does offers work? How do we get coaches to recognizing? How do I just get a scholarship? So sign up for our weekly recruiting Zoom seminars, and you sign up right there at www.californiarecruits.com/register. And you register there and you get on, and then we tell you a lot about the company and what we do and how we do it, what it costs, and figure out a plan for each and every one of our, you know, one of our clients and student athletes. So if it's something that you want to do, it's going to be right there at californiarecruits.com/register. And this is something we want to do. How does this stuff happen? How does it work? Okay. So want to make sure that it's something that, you know, all you guys have an opportunity to do. If you want to be a part of it, go there.
Better about your,
and we will make sure that we get some information to you. Okay. Always there to help you. Always there. Markeith, I want to get with you. Anthony Brown, I'm going to talk with you as well. LZ Washington, all you guys, we'll get with you here as well. Want you guys have a good day. Thank you guys for tuning in. I think I was on time, and I went less than an hour. Truly, I want to show you a lot more about NAIA Division II and what it all encompassed. But as my daddy said, knowledge is to be sold and not told. If it was free, we all could go to USC. So I'm going to let y'all kick back. Gave you a lot of good information. If it's something you want to do, again, CaliforniaRecruits.com. You want to be a part of a Zoom recruiting seminar, CaliforniaRecruits.com/register. And I'll get with you next time. Talk to you soon. I'm out.